the Something Else Podcast.
Welcome back to the Something Else Podcast. Now, this one's going to be kind of a rant, I won't lie, but we are going to be doing something that has been quite impactful for me. So, with lockdown, in England that is, becoming almost done, like today, May 17th, is a big day because everything's open again. Attractions are open. You can go to people's houses. You can hug people again. For those that didn't, obviously, break those rules. Anyway, but it's a big day. And throughout lockdown, I've been really trying to, I've seen there's more to life than everything. Like I've said before, like work and all that crap. But I have been trying to make myself a better person. So not to be impulsive, because obviously I was one of the many that were on furlough, so money was tight. Ignore the backdrop, by the way, if you're watching this, because I'm sitting down as I'm far too tired to be standing up today. So this is actually a backdrop where behind me there's a brick wall and then below me is a wood flooring, so it looks like you're on a wood floor. But anyway, ignore that. But it was one of those ones where I wanted to try and get back in shape, because I'm still pretty fit in the sense of I can ride a bike, I can run, I don't get too tired. But I just really wanted to give myself a push. So I fixed my bicycle, repaired it even, like it was completely destroyed. I go to a gym now, which absolutely beats me up because I'm not as in shape as I thought I was. But there's something that is triggering me big time today, or just generally. Now, when I was growing up in the 2000s, when I was 10, Microscooters were the thing to have. So it's basically a scooter with very small kind of gel-based wheels, to kind of describe it badly, and you could fold it up and carry it around. It was brilliant. And then obviously they get more advanced, and now you've got the adult-sized ones, which are brilliant. But in England, they're everywhere. But it's these ones where I've never used one, but from what I can gather, you just kind of scan your card and you pay as you ride. And they're electric, so you can travel around the city with relative ease. Now, again, I don't fully know how they work, but I see them everywhere. So I'm assuming once you've finished your journey, or it just generally dies, you just leave it, someone collects it, or maybe it's solar paneling. I don't know. I don't really care. But because of this health kick I'm in now, I was thinking to myself, well, didn't you just buy a normal adult-sized scooter that you can fold up, like what you see in the streets? Does it necessarily have to be electric? Because if you buy a push scooter, surely, now this is my logic, you would be still able to get around town. You won't have to pay for it. You won't have to just leave it when it dies. You could still use it, and you're getting an exercise out of it. Now, to me, that sounds amazing, because yes, you'll have very toned legs after, because you'd have to alternate. You can't just use the one leg to push because you don't want a big calf. But I was thinking about this, and in my head, I thought it would make more sense because, well, obviously, lockdown, COVID and all that, all forbidden words. But I don't really want to touch a scooter someone else has touched. I don't know who cleans them. Again, I don't really know. I'd have to do a bit of reading into it. So, in hindsight, I should have done that before this one. But surely it would make more sense to do, well, what I just said, to get a push scooter. Because, I don't know how much it costs to make these electric ones, but I can imagine they're made in a factory somewhere, mass-produced. Because I'm guessing they're not just in England. But surely, because then, again, if it's like the Barclays bicycles where you have them in that big metal stand, they've got to be made as well. The stands, the bicycles, you name it. But surely, it would be cost effective just to buy yourself a micro scooter. I've got one here because I'm actually in my garage. I can't remember if I said that on the last one when I started doing this whole backdrop thing. But me and my wife got them back in London. I can't remember what we was doing, but we was running late and we was like, we'll just buy some cheap scooters, and they're zinc razor scooters or something like that. I don't know. But they're just basic scooters, like stunt scooters, so you can't fold them. And we got around London like absolute legends, to be fair. There's a fly in the way. And honestly, I'm seeing these people ride around on them. They've got number plates, indicators, you name it. They've got everything. And I'm just like, I don't know the laws on them. I don't know if you have to ride them in the bicycle lanes or if they're road legal. I'm pretty sure if it goes over a certain speed, it's not. You're not allowed to ride on the pavement. But I was thinking about it before. And like I visited my parents today. And we went down the shops, and I haven't been down these shops in ages. And I was just absolutely overwhelmed with just like how they're whizzing across the roads. No helmets or any sort of protection. So if they get hit, they will die. And I was just absolutely mesmerised. I don't know. I mean, the Barclays bicycles, I think, are probably one of the better ideas because you pay for as long as you need it. But again, I think you pedal on them ones. I think they're like power assisted. I'm not sure. But, you know, you're still getting a decent exercise out of it. But these ones, you just stand on it and off you go. I hate standing. You know what I mean? At least if you're pushing with your legs, you're moving, you're getting the heart rate going. Because, now I'm going to say something now that is a little bit controversial. There's a film called Wall-E. Not Wally. Wall-E. It literally has WALL-E, right? Anyway. That film is quite political and quite scary if you're not looking at it from a child's point of view. Because the human race basically devolves. Devolves. I'm going to use that now. If that's not a thing, it's mine now. I patent that. Copyright, there we go. Anyway. But they're essentially moving around on these hover chairs. Like their bones no longer are joined or they've shrunk or something like that. You have to watch the film. But basically, the human race is this obese race where they sit in hover chairs, drinking some form of milkshake, whatever it is. And that's what I see happening. Obviously not to that extreme yet. But the very fact that people are riding around on electric scooters to get from A to B, where if they just, I don't know, used, like I said, a push scooter, they can get from A to B and get an exercise. It's, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone, that sort of thing. But I just found it really bizarre. And I think because I'm in this massive health kick, yeah, it was just a really weird one, because it's like, I feel really good now I'm exercising. And whenever I see people on these scooters, I mean, I did a post, I left a little Instagram thing about like #hipster. And I think that's what it is. It's like a statement, isn't it? Oh, well, I'm using this new blah blah thing. And it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I'd much rather, I'm not a fast walker. Ask my sister. I walk slow. But it's the exercise and it's the journey. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And I think that's what people are forgetting. And like, money can be tight, you know? And I don't really want to spend money to travel. Like, I've got the car, obviously I pay for fuel. Another thing in England, in Birmingham, there's now the clean air zone, so even though my car is quite eco-friendly, don't know why I quoted that, I'm still going to probably have to pay the clean air zone fees or charge or whatever it is. But again, that'll probably, I live way from Brum anyway, but when I'm going to visit, I'll probably just get the train down or something, bring a bike or a scooter. But I think it's really bizarre, because the thing that annoys me the most, apart from it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you want to pay to use a scooter when you can just buy a scooter? And if you want to buy a scooter, don't buy electric, because then you've got to charge it, which is using more electric and still making you use money. Just buy a push scooter. But the thing I don't like is the fact that they're just left. Now, where me and my band rehearse, I'm going to do a plug here. We're called Broken Wolf. Oh, yes. Don't ask. But we went to practice, and bear in mind, where we rehearsed, there's a car park next to it. So bear in mind, there's a car park. One of the bays was taken up by a scooter. Now, whoever parked it there, top marks for parking it in a bay. But why? You know what I mean? Because I know bicycles have quite a lot of laws, not that I can remember them, because clearly I got it wrong on the last one. But, yeah, the rules are never going to be, or the laws are never going to be stuck to, because you're not allowed to ride a bicycle on the pavement. No, I've rode past. I can't speak today. I've rode past, policemen before, and they've said nothing. But, like, it's bigger. I can go a hell of a lot faster than an electric scooter, but I do feel that the electric scooters are going to be somewhat dangerous. I just hate them in the fact that they are left everywhere. Like I said, I went to visit my parents, and literally all around the streets are just scooters. And again, I don't know how it works. So if you have to pay for it, and then you say you want an hour and then it switches off, I really don't know. I don't know how it charges. Do you have to plug it in? Does it solar it? I don't know. It's going very dark outside. But yeah, I was just baffled by it. But to get away from this massive rant about electric scooters, I'm going to introduce a new segment, and this will go through all of the shows really, the Something Else podcast, gaming, television, movies, and music. I'm going to do shoutouts. Now, these aren't sponsored in any way. If I ever get a sponsor, I'm going to just make sure I get something I enjoy. Manscaped, I really like their products. Didn't do the cough properly there. Manscaped. Oh, I know what I forgot. I forgot the effect. Manscaped. See, I'm doing like subliminal messaging now. Anyway, but what I want to do is just, I want to shout out a couple of things. A couple of companies, products, people, small businesses, because they were the ones that did get absolutely hammered through lockdown. So what I'm going to do some form of transition into the next thing. Bear with me, I need to figure this part out. Shoutouts for this episode. I'm going to do, like I said, a bit of a self-plug-in. Myself, as well as talking to you guys on podcasts, I'm also a photographer. And I had quite a few things during the whole lockdown pandemic era that sadly had to be cancelled or rearranged. And it was tough because, that wasn't my sole income, but it's what I want to get to, really. I love being behind the camera as well as in front of it. So, what can I say about myself? Well, let me tell you. I am moments to frame photography. I do everything from weddings, birthdays, cake smashes, just general headshots, photo shoots, you name it, I'll do it. My approach is very tailored to yourself or the event at hand even. I have access to loads of gear as well as photos. We can do videos, especially for weddings, top notch. As well as that, I want to give a shout out to my partner in crime. He helps me with mine and I help him with his. That sounds disgusting, but I want to shout out Robert. I'll leave links in this, but my mate Robert, he is one of the best videographers I've ever worked with as well as seen. He's done many videos for quite a lot of famous people. So yeah, for this shout out, I want to shout out myself and my mate Robert. If you need videographers and photographers, we're the people you need. And like I said, I am moments to frame, and I do believe there's always a moment to frame. Thank you for this shout out. So, I have left the hat on for the shout out because again, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do for it. But going back to what this podcast is actually about, which is, I think, supposed to have been exercise. But yeah, I do think lockdown has made me want to, better myself, become healthier, become just generally a better version of me. Life's forever changing and I want to be ready for whatever is in the way, really. And I think that's what really kind of triggered me about the scooters, because if that's the way the world's going, I don't think it's looking very good. I'm not very good at running, by any means. I can't run, my knees are shot. But I do think that if you want to, I don't know, maybe it's a trend. Maybe you've got to jump on the bandwagon, and I don't like that. Maybe that makes me a hipster. God. Anyway. But yeah. I think that's generally what I was getting at with this one. It's like, I get it. You want to get to A to B. You want to go there. You want to go here. But do it properly, man. You want to feel good about it. Like I said, it's the journey. At the minute, I'm on a a getting back in shape journey. So I'm just doing little things like I have no strength. I can't really do weights. I mean, I can lift my own body weight. I'm about 16.5 stone. But I can do pull-ups, I can do push-ups, you name it, I can do it. If I went to the gym, I'd be out-benched on anything. My endurance is top-notch. My voice is going, it's emotional. But, yeah, I just think it's one of them ones, like, if this is the way that the future's heading with electric scooters of all things, then it's not looking good. And I think I'm going to enjoy being primitive and doing manual labour and exercise. But really, I think it's, if you look within yourself, what would help you? Like exercise, I know some people, it's like, oh, I need to do calorie counting and this and that and this and that. And I'm like, don't just, it's what you eat. You know what I mean? It's not how much you eat, it's what you eat. Like I could eat, now here's some old school mathematics for GCSEs. I could eat 1 kilogram of lettuce, and I'd probably still be hungry if I'm honest, but I could eat 1 kilogram of crisps and I'd feel awful. And I'm probably going to put more weight on with the crisps. So my point is it the right way to go? It's moderation, isn't it? I don't know how this goes from lettuce, from eating lettuce from scooters, but you get my point. I think I might end it there, because I could go off on many, many, many routes on this one. But all in all, I think my point was, I just don't get why you'd want an electric scooter when you could get a workout at the same time. Like, isn't the future supposed to be beneficial to us? Yes, we can get from A to B, go across town, get to meetings on a scooter, but then you still got to charge the scooters. They've still got to be made, and like I said, I'm assuming. Oh, this is what I was going to get at. On an episode of Top Gear years ago. Now, this is like probably a decade old, so it's kind of not relevant anymore. But there was a guy called C6 Steve. He's like a folk singer sort of thing. He became massively famous. And in America, where he's from, he drives around in like old clapped out 20s, 30s, old school cars. And he said that he could drive around in one of them cars for the rest of his life and not cause as much pollution as it does to make an eco car. And now that's something I'm kind of thinking maybe that's true. Because to make it, you've got to get the raw materials, then you've got to mould it, make it, blah, 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 blah. How much waste is being, how much waste from a sheet of metal is going to be there? Are they going to use all the metal? Is it going to be precise? And I think that's what I was getting at. It's about efficiency, it's about practicality, and what are we going to get from it? In the end of the day, we need to better the human race instead of making it lazy. And I think that's what I'm getting at. We'll say that's what we're getting at, because I really am losing my points of this podcast. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.